Okay, so here's our last example. 60 people were contacted and responded to a movie survey. The following information was obtained. 6 people liked comedies, dramas, and science fiction. 13 people liked comedies and dramas. 10 people liked comedies and science fiction. 11 people liked drama and science fiction. 26 total people liked comedies. 21 people liked dramas. And 25 people liked science fiction. Now, if you notice, if you add all these up, this does not equal 60. We know that 60 people were surveyed, but this doesn't add up to 60, which means these groups are not individually represented. They might be overlapping. So I am going to make a 3-circle Venn diagram. And because all of the people surveyed all came from the same pool, and they were asked about 3 different topics, each one of the circles is going to be one of those topics. So we will say C for comedies, D for dramas, and S for sci-fi. Okay? And then our U universal set would be the entire box, which would be all 60 people. So after I get this all filled in, I want all of these numbers to add up to 60. Okay, we start from the innermost. 6 people liked comedies, dramas, and science fiction. So that's the intersection of all 3. So that's the easiest one out here. I just put the number 6 right inside there. And I've got that one done. 13 people liked comedies and dramas. Comedies is the intersection of C and D, so comedies and dramas. That's this section right here. So I know 13 total people belong in there, but 6 of them already are placed inside the inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 13 minus 6, and that's going to get me 7. So 7 people strictly liked comedies and dramas, but not science fiction. So if I add these 2 things together, I should get the 13, and that's how I got that problem. 10 people liked comedies and science fiction. So that's the section right here. So if 10 people belong in there and 6 already are labeled, 10 minus 6 would give me 4. So I have 4 people left inside this area, and that takes care of the third one. The next one, 11 people like dramas and science fiction. So inside drama and science fiction, that's this section. 11 people total need to be in that sector. 6 are already placed. So if I take 11 minus 6, that's going to get me 5 people that only like science and drama but not comedies. Next, it says 26 people like comedies. Well, inside the C circle, we're talking about the whole C circle. Okay? So if I need all of these parts to add up to 26, let's see what they add up to now. 4 plus 6, that's 10, plus 7 is 17 total. So I'm going to take 26 minus 17, and that's going to get me 9. So 9 people belong in only comedies but not drama and science fiction. Okay, so that takes care of that one. The next one, it says 21 people like dramas. Well, for the dramas, I'm talking about the entire drama circle, which means I have to have 21 total people there. So if I take 7 plus 6 plus 5, that's going to get me 18. And then I take 21 minus 18, and that gets me 3 leftovers. So in the outside section, I have 3 people that only like dramas, but not the other 2. Now it says 25 people like science fiction. So in this science fiction area, all of these numbers need to add up to 25. So I have 4 plus 6, that's 10, plus another 5, that's 15 total. And I need 25 in that circle. So I'm going to take 25 minus 15 and get 10. So 10 people belong in that section. And that finishes all the information. But I'm still not 100% done because I need to know how many people didn't like any of these types of movies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add all of those up. Okay? So I'm just going to do this in a calculator. 9 plus 7 plus 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 5 plus 10. And all of these values added up to be 44. So to get the values of the outside group, I'm going to take 60, which were total number of people surveyed, minus the 44 that are already placed, and that's going to get me 16. So 16 people that were surveyed didn't like any of those types of movies. Okay, so now that I have all my Venn diagram filled out, I can use the Venn diagram to answer the questions. So how many of those surveyed liked comedies, but neither dramas nor science fiction? Would be 9. That's the one in just the comedy section, but not anything else. Next, how many of those surveyed liked drama and science fiction, but not comedies? So drama and science fiction would be this section right here, but then it says but not comedies. So then I have to come in and like erase the part where it's overlapping. So in this case, it would only be 5 people. All right, how many people liked dramas or science fiction, but not comedies? Okay, or. So this is, instead of and, it's or. So I need both science and drama. So I'm going to tell all the circles of S and D, except I can't be inside the circle of C. So the way I'm going to get that number is I'm just going to add up the regions with 3 and 5 and 10, and that's going to get me a total of 18. 18 people like dramas or science fiction, but not comedies. So we can't have comedies, but we can have any of the other two. Okay, how many people liked exactly one movie style? So we're talking about just the ones that are in C only, D only, or S only without any overlapping parts. So those are not an overlapping parts would be 9, 3, and 10. So when I add that up, it gets 22. How many people surveyed liked at least 2 movie styles? Okay, so in the sections of at least 2 movie styles, so anyone that liked both comedies and dramas, anyone that liked dramas and sci-fi, or anyone that liked sci-fi and comedies, or if they liked all 3. At least includes 2 or 3 types of movie styles in this particular case. So we're adding up 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4, and that gets us 22 as well, but then we're talking about a totally different set of 22 people. And how many people liked none of the movie styles? Well, we've already answered that question. That's the 16 that we had to take all of our people and we subtracted from 60, and that got us the 16. So 16 people didn't like any of the movie styles. So that is how you take English words from a survey, create a Venn diagram, and then answer survey questions. And that concludes our lesson.